What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Honest Tattooer Podcast. My name is John Mesa, and I'm with my co-host, Matt Truiano.
Hey, what's up?
And our very special guest, my homie Skeety Johnson. What's up, bro?
Chilling, brother.
How you been?
You know, doing good. Living it up out here. Appreciating you guys having me in the shop, you know.
Well, you've been here before, bro, but not in this one.
Not in this shop.
You've been in the new one. So for the people that don't know you, let them know your name, where you're from, how long you've been tattooing, and what kind of tattoos you do.
So my name's Skeety Johnson. I'm originally from Jersey. I live in Florida, Orlando, and I just do realism, color, and black and gray.
Okay. And how long you been tattooing?
Since I was 19, I'm 36 now. I don't know, like
17 years.
17.
17 on it, bro. 17 years tattooing. It's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, I try. Shit, man. What these kids are doing nowadays, man, it's crazy.
It's great.
Yeah.
People are doing some cool shit, and some people are doing not so cool shit.
Some people are doing cool shit, and some people are doing shit.
Doing just shit.
Straight.
It's a lot of that. How's the tattoo scene in Florida right now? Where part of Florida you're at right now?
I'm in Orlando.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like everybody's slow right now.
Yeah, that's across the board.
Yeah, but
Do you think tattoos have become not cool? Like, why are people not getting tattooed as much? Is it because A, they're broke, B, tattoos aren't as cool anymore, and people are just like, the newest generation is just like,
everybody getting tattooed.
my parents have some, I don't want them.
I don't think that they don't think it's cool anymore.
I think the cost of living. People are like,
Yeah.
do I pay rent or do I pay Buddy X amount of dollars? Or should I buy this? Or should I get tattooed? Like,
I think there's a split too between the people who appreciate spending the money on good quality art and then the people who want to be tattooed but don't value what the tattoo really means, like how much effort and how much talent goes into it and how much skill the artist has.
Yeah.
So they want to have the tattoos, but they don't want to pay for the good tattoos.
I think even when it comes down to like small, cheap tattoos, right? Something that still be around a shop minimum, and shop minimums will vary across the US and the world, I'm sure, you know, but sometimes you see people, you know, you give them a shop minimum, you tell them, oh, it's going to be $150 for whatever it is they want.
for a dot?
And they're like, oh, what? Yeah. You know, and yesterday I was talking to Heather, and I was like, whenever people would say that, I'm like, I just look at them and I'm like, find one item of clothing that they have on them. And I'll know, like, how much did you pay for that? And how long do you think you're going to have that? You're going to die with this.
Yeah.
And most people are like, he's kind of right.
Always.
Like, at that point, you can just say, I don't got it. And that's fine.
Yeah.
You know? But like, I think it's like, man, this is the most bang for your buck you can get for something, man. Like, it really is. It's like even like how cell phones are very expensive, but out of all the things that you own, it's the one thing that you use the most.
Yeah.
So you're paying pennies on it, you know, for how
much
using
you
it for
use
everything.
it. Yeah, it don't owe you nothing back.
Yeah. You're using it for everything. Communication, music, entertainment, maps. Like, it's just everything.
I mean, it's true. For the amount that you're using it, the value of it, like it really, it's gotta balance out in one way or another.
Yeah.
And if you're saying that a tattoo is too expensive, then you're right. Just be like, all right, I don't have the money right now. That's which is fine.
Yeah.
But it's a totally different subject to devalue what it actually is.
Absolutely.
I had a guy who worked in Waffle House, right? He was the cook. And he came in, he asked me for how much it costs to do a tattoo. And I told him up $1,600 for the day. And he gets a notebook and he goes, how much time? And he's writing something down. He'd be like, I'll be back. And in my head, I was like, he ain't never coming back, ever. He came back 6 months later, saved up his tips, saved up everything. He was like, I told you I'll be back. I got a deposit. I could get tatted after this date. I gave him a discount just knowing that he saved up his pennies to get tattooed. And after that, when people be like, oh, I can't, that's too much. I'm like, yo, I had a guy from Waffle House save for like 6 months to get tattooed.
Yeah.
It's all about budgeting.
Yes.
And the first body had a tattoo on it, the one that we found years ago. And it's like that, you live with that forever. Like the first human body had a tattoo. Like, that's crazy. Like, we'll be dead and our corpse will have our ink on it.
Yeah. If you get preserved, your ink will still be there.
I don't know, man. People are just cheap, I feel like. And I feel like people don't respect the process in the back end. They think like, poof, we just come up with the art. Like, that's not.
Yeah.
Like,
that actually ties into what I want to talk about with the post that I put up today. So what I wrote today was, why should tattoo apprentices get paid? Tell us what tattoo apprentices can do to get paid during their training, excluding janitorial and secretarial work.
oh, damn, I don't know. I was going to say both of those.
Right? And the reason why I put that little disclaimer in there is because those are things that a shop owner can hire out for somebody else to do that has nothing to do with learning how to tattoo.
Yeah.
And all the comments, we got a lot of comments. We got 328 comments so far on this. And I posted it this morning. And most of the comments are agreeing like, yeah, you should either, you get paid by learning, your knowledge is your payment. And then some of the people are arguing, yeah, tattoo apprentices should get paid. But then when you ask, all right, what are they doing in order to earn the money? They've got no answer other than scrubbing floors, cleaning toilets, taking out the trash.
Marketing, handing out cards, going.
Well, that's the thing that kind of changed with time, right? Like back in the day, the tattoo artist, of the apprentice had to probably mix pigments.
Make needles.
Like they had to make needles, solder all the needles. They had to clean tubes. On top of that, back then, most artists were doing smaller, high volume.
Let me get a number 3 on the wall.
Yeah, let me get that one over there, And they were doing a lot more, churning out more tattoos. Yeah. So like that apprentice maybe had to do like, 10 setups in a day.
Sense.
On top of like, making the stencils, and so the artist is just head down doing it all day.
Yeah, but now, I mean, how many shops do you know of that they got a couple of people working in there? They're doing one like 18-hour tattoo for the day.
One tattoo.
The guy setting up early in the morning, and then maybe he'll make you a stencil. I doubt the guy's putting the stencil on for you, right? And then if you're excluding cleaning, answering the phones, like things. The reason why I did it this way is I want to know what should the tattoo apprentice do during the day that actually facilitates learning how to tattoo, what those tasks are that deserve payment.
Yes, and I don't think there is.
There isn't any.
I don't know. I feel like the knowledge is the payment, because when you go to college, you got to pay for that career.
Right.
Yeah.
Everything you got to pay for, and you sitting down watching all the gains that I got from tripping and falling, going over here, going over there, understanding I messed up over here, don't do it like that. I'm giving you straight up from the beginning how to do it correctly.
Yeah.
And that's priceless.
Yeah, it'll save you years.
What inspired this post was I've heard a couple of people mention in previous posts that we've made how apprentices in other trades get paid. And which is true. Electricians, apprentices, they get paid. Plumbers, apprentices, they get paid.
They're doing hard labor.
That's exactly it.
They're carrying the cables in, and they're carrying 2x4.
They're doing work just like the journeymen are, and just like the master plumbers are, and all that. They're doing similar, if not the same work as those guys.
Yeah.
Tattoo apprentices aren't doing tattoos.
They're not.
So,
but
I don't know, that's why.
When I was doing my apprenticeship, very shortly after I did my first tattoo, and it looked all right, from that point on, I was doing, whenever somebody would come in and haggle price, they were that would be it. They were like,
give it to the apprentice.
Give it to the apprentice. He'll do it for if the minimum was $100, he'll do it for $50.
Which is fine. I think that's perfectly valid.
Like, you want a deal? Like, he'll do it for you.
Yeah.
He'll do it for $50. He'll do it for you. And if he messes up, I got you.
Yeah.
That's what he would tell people.
I think that's
fire,
valid.
actually.
And it gave me a ton of practice to do things, and I could just do, and I was doing very simple things, just like doing, straight up printed out fonts of names and letters and little numbers and kanji, because they were
kanji was a hit.
Just little simple bangers, little stars, all that shit.
And that makes sense that you got paid by the client So you were making money as an apprentice doing tattoos.
That's the thing. I was not making any money.
Oh no.
I was yes.
No.
My boss kept 100% of it. Yeah. He kept 100% of it because to him, nah, bro, I'm the one taking the risk on you.
Yeah.
Like I'm taking the risk on you, and basically like this is your school. Like you're learning. I'm giving you the people so you can learn.
All right.
So he's like, you get nothing. You're an apprentice. To him, it's like
it sounds good. You know, I don't know.
to him, it's like you're still an apprentice. You're not getting paid. You know.
What some people mentioned in the comments, which I kind of agree with, is that we're using the term apprentice incorrectly. And I think that is where there's a lot of confusion.
Yeah.
Because apprentices generally do get paid.
They do get paid.
And they're doing different type of work than what a tattoo apprentice will. So some people are trying to suggest, oh, we should just get rid of the whole. First of all, I hate canceling terminology.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Renaming things I disagree with.
So dumb.
But I do agree that maybe from the beginning we shouldn't have been calling tattoo apprentices and just calling them like trainees or something like that.
Yeah. Trainees. Let's call them crash test dummies.
I wish I did a little bit more research into learning like more about like, I'm sure that there's blacksmith apprentices, and I'm sure that there's like other like maybe like
Iron workers, all that.
Well, that's still like a union job though. But I'm talking about like something that an individual will pass down their knowledge to their, I don't know, their.
But if you look at it, anything could be an apprenticeship. Your mom teaching you life from the beginning stages is kind of like a fake little apprenticeship. Learning any type of thing is like, you know, you got somebody over here that has more knowledge. He puts you under the wing. He teaches you. He guides you. It's kind of same ordeal.
Like a young esquire if you're a knight.
Yeah.
Which that's what the esquire would do for knights. Just carry the equipment, carry the swords on whenever he was ready. I'm ready to fight, esquire. Get the horse and get the thing, you know? And that was his job. And that's how he would then eventually lead up to be like, now I will knight you. You've earned it. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. But like, so what I was trying to get at, like if you take a blacksmith, maybe he's got his own little hut in the village and he's, you know, forging all these knives and forging all these stuff. And he might have an apprentice. That is a very similar thing to what a tattoo artist would do. Like he's got his own shop and he has his help.
Yeah.
And what I was saying was before is I wish that I did some research on it to know like if there even are blacksmith apprentices or are they just doing school? I don't know.
YouTube.
That's probably where they're at now.
You're right. They probably are.
They are probably just YouTube.
But that's a very long-standing tradition of learning how to like. You have to be in the room with a guy who's hammering that steel.
That's the best way.
Do you think? Dude, do you think that blacksmiths, right, are like, all these?
Where you're going? All these dudes,
all these new blacksmiths coming up, bro.
I'm sure that there
you
are,
know,
yeah.
Ever since that Forge and Fire show came out, everybody wants to be a fucking blacksmith.
I did.
You know?
I wanted a blacksmith.
I mean, that's cool stuff. Man. I would do it too.
Exactly. And they're like,
Why
that
you
ruined it. As soon as they sold out the industry of the Forge and Fire show, dude.
That show was fire, though.
It was what? Everybody sold more knives right after that.
Dude. I bought a couple of knives from that shop.
Exactly. Everybody sold more knives. So guess what? The shows, yeah, maybe they brought a lot more people in the industry, but for a while, everybody did a lot more tattoos. Now it's the problem where there's like so many, and the demand went down. It's like I feel like the demand for tattooing went down in a sense. Some people would say like statistics will say no. They're like, no, the tattoo industry has grown like, you know, by like, you know, how many percentage, you know, it's like 3% every year or something like that, in millions of dollars. And, you know, I'm like, well, that's because there's more people in the world. But I don't think necessarily that at the speed that the amount of tattooers have grown, that the demand has grown, you know, with it, you know?
I don't know. I got a little theory, you know. I feel like people, all right, you know how we see the quality. We'll look at our eyes trained to see all the fine details and stuff, whether it's a certain style or what. People don't have that. So they don't care if Joe Schmo that just started is pretty decent, but he's charging $500 for his full day. So they're going that way. And then next person, I'm paying $1,000 over here instead of going to like somebody it's a master artist, did all the training, did everything right. It's kind of like super oversaturated right now that people don't really see it. It's kind of good. I can live with that. That's fine. I don't want the Gucci. I'll take the Kif right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And I think also even like if your tattoos aren't that good, now it's a lot easier to fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
And people want more space coverage.
Yeah.
Than quality. Like, I do realism, and I hit a point where I started doing everything with liners. The whole thing with liners, trying to put every detail I see in that photography, right? And then I realized, like, oh, it looks amazing. But I'll take Buddy because Buddy does a whole sleeve in one shot. People get 10 artists because they sit one time and get it done with. And that's like their mentality now.
They want the full look of being tattooed, but when you get up close, you're like, oh, it's just a bunch of bullshit.
It's a bunch of shapes. It's fine.
Yeah.
But from far, it looks good, right? It looks good.
You remember, you were one of the first people that put me onto the guys that were doing that.
Bali?
The guys in Bali.
Yeah.
They were just doing like full sleeves, 4 back pieces in a day because they would be like a team of them.
It was like 5 guys doing the tattoo at once.
Yeah.
I also heard they had a pharmacy connected next to it, and they'll help the client out.
Oh, yeah.
And they'll just sit them down, put them to sleep, and
Just pumping them up.
Pop a couple of these pills. Dude's like out. And then
Done.
these guys are just going to town on them.
like, it's kind of, I don't know, man. Like, you don't earn the tattoo at that point. Like, everybody talks about, would you get put under to get tattooed? There's something about knowing that you sat down, you was you and your thoughts, and you overcame something. At the end of it, you feel like, I did something. Going to sleep, like, anybody could just do that, It's like, it's kind of whack,
It is kind of whack. But, some people are like, well, if I don't want to go through pain, what does it make it less, than somebody that did? I'm like, yeah, it does matter. It's like the person that just went and got some plastic surgery and the person that put their ass in the gym and worked out for it.
But back in the day, your tattoos, like, if you were in a tribe, it meant something. You're a killer right here, tatted a killer warrior on them. Oh, you're a farmer picker. You're a farmer tattoo right here. You know what I'm saying? Like,
You're a farmer picker.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah, man, like, you got to earn it. And I remember when I first started getting tatted, I was talking to your mom, and I was like, yeah, I had my neck tatted since high school. And I remember walking in the street and people would move their family over. And now, like, it's so recognized and known. Everybody got tattoos. That I got clients that are teachers with face tats. And I'm like,
what?
Yeah. And I'm there like, how? I put a little makeup on it, but you can still see it. And I'm like, ain't no makeup hiding that. Like, I see your picture that you posted.
I see it.
I see it loud and clear. And it's like, it's just accepted. Cops are getting hand tats, neck tats.
Yeah.
And it's just part of society. But I don't know, man. Shit's moving way too fast. People don't want to earn it. People don't want to earn their apprenticeships. People don't want to put the hard work in. I seen people go to school around my way. People go to school to tattoo, and as soon as they graduate school, they got jobs. And I'm there like, it's just a Walmart of tattooing right now.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
I question the people who are hiring those kids also.
I do too.
you know who they are? People that just want to make money.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's it. They had either, the business mind for it, a couple dollars put on the side, and they were like, I'm going to invest this in a tattoo shop. I can find myself 5 kids and I'm going to give them a place to work.
What was that shop? They had a couple of locations in Jersey. Was it Body Art and Soul or something like that?
Yeah, Body Art and Soul. Well, they were like a tattoo school initially.
Yeah.
And they had a bunch of locations. Yeah. Body Art and Soul was a tattoo school.
I must have moved to Florida. When
And
that happened.
they had a bunch.
Couple of kids
all
that I
over.
tattooed that became tattooers going through that.
Going through that thing.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I don't know, man. Like, shit was hard for me when I started. People didn't tell you nothing. You had to take, and when you did, you had to take seminars, and you got to pray to God they ain't reading off a book and giving you bullshit. And then, like, go work at this shop real quick, do a guest spot, try to absorb a little bit. and then get cool with people, and you had to like do conventions and see things. And now kids are just like, they don't have to be the best. It just has to be kind of clean. And it's like, damn.
I'm going to present a situation, right? Let's say you apprentice under someone for like 2 years, right? And you get a very formal apprenticeship. That person hands down a bunch of knowledge to you and you feel stoked. And then a couple of years go by and now that person that mentored you is selling a course of everything that they taught you for like a flat price of like $500
I might do
or
that.
$1,000, right? Because they're like, oh man, like I taught somebody for the love of it, but now I know that I like everybody's making this, you know, giving it away. So I'm gonna just try to, you know, make some money, on my knowledge, and I'm gonna just put it in a little package and I'm gonna sell it. If you were the person that put in the 2 years to learn from that person, how would you feel?
I don't know. It might sting a little bit, but I look at it like this. I remember going half for like 3 people for an online webinar, right? Not everybody absorbed the knowledge. Nobody understood. The person who sat down, took the notes, watched it, read the notes, applied. That's the person that it helped. You could give that course, unless you're not putting in the work. Buddy who did the 2 years, he put in the time.
He put in the time and the work.
And that's what's going to pay off. I could walk you to the water and right here, drink the water. But if you don't know how to drink, you ain't going to feed that thirst.
Yeah, you're really nah.
One of Gary Vee's famous lines is he talks about how he gives all of his information out for free all the time. And people question him, like, why are you doing this? Why are you giving all your stuff out for free? And his answer is because I know 99% of the people who hear this information aren't going to do shit with it anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So why not give it away?
And like I got tons of webinars, right, that I got years ago, and they were just sitting there, and then every once in a while I'd be like, I need to throw a wrench into my style, or I want to figure something out real quick, and I'll pop it on. Mind you, it was sitting there doing nothing for like a year and a half, 2 years, 3 years, and I look at it and I'm like, oh, that's interesting. I'm gonna try it, and I'll try it. But the fact that I just left it there, I got pretty much from seminars, books that I was given, like in a tattoo gathering. I think it was like 2012, the last year, 2011. I got a whole trapper full. Adrian, Dominic, Nico, you name them, gave you little booklets and everything. And every once in a while, I forget about it. I'll go in my storage and I'll be like, how do I forget to not look at this once a week? Like, all this information, at the end of the day, I get it might be outdated, but the structure is there.
Yeah.
And, you know, I had old apprentices that it would be right there. You could grab it, you could look at it, you could read it, and you didn't take advantage. Like, it was just a test to see if you'll just open it up.
Be curious.
And look at it. Like, it's right there. This is what you're paying for. All the gems are right there. This is where I learned from. The same notes that I took, the same, and nobody really cares about finding out why do you use this ink? Or why do you use this type of style of machine? Or why? Oh, this is kind of good. I'm going to go with it. You like this? All right, I'm going to buy the same machine. Or not, why did you buy that machine? Nobody really cares no more. Mm-hmm. They want to look cool and they just want to make money.
They want the results. They don't care about the info. They just want the results.
So we had a client here at the shop, and very nice person, has gotten tattooed by a few artists here. And yesterday they said that they bought some tattoo equipment.
Ooh.
Who was this? I heard you talking about it before. Who was it? It was someone Gabe tattooed?
Yeah, someone that Gabe tattooed. Somebody's been tattooed by Gabe and by Hermes. And
okay, I know who you're talking. Yeah.
And very nice person. I don't want to even give the who it is, because it's personal. It's like, fine, like if you want to do that. But then it seemed like, when they kind of like were sharing that they were doing this, and then everybody that was in that little area that was a tattooer kind of gave him that like, Like, oh, we all smell the fart, you know? Like, we all like,
They only got one option. They got to work so hard that it wipes that stain away.
well, yeah, but most of all, like, you can visually tell that she I just said it, but like, you know, that they felt uncomfortable, you know, because they could see that we weren't like, that's amazing, you should go totally start doing some tats in your own, you know, and you know, they could sense the pushback on it. And you know, Gabe, being Gabe, of course, was a very vocal pushback. I love Gabe for it.
Yeah,
because he kept it 100. You know, I was like, nah.
And what was her reaction to his reaction?
Like, you know, like, really, like you wouldn't teach me? He was like, hell no.
You gotta earn that.
Like, hell no.
Is that why that appointment arose? Because knowledge was wanting to be given?
No, I don't think so. I mean, you know, like, this person's just been getting tattooed consistently, and I think they want to continue to get tattooed. And I think now they've gotten to the point where they're like, because they do art, right? They also make art. So they were like, it's just another medium.
Yeah, it's
just another medium.
I see where her heart is. She was getting tattooed, probably excited,
curious to seeing it happen, you know?
She could have asked some questions while getting tattooed, like, yo, which way should I go about this? Now, you saying that sparked an idea, like something we talked about, I don't know, yesterday, day before, maybe earlier today, a tattoo artist that has no tattoos now. How do you feel about that?
It's one of those things where it's like, I don't like it. I've always said it, like, here, that I don't like it. I think that if you want to do tattoos, you should like tattoos enough that you want them on you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, exactly.
Imagine a mechanic that doesn't own a car. He has no interest in owning one. They're like, I don't want that. That's crazy.
Wants that?
They break down all the time. Why would I want this? But I'll fix them. That sounds weird.
Yeah, I don't know. It hit me. I was like, I see a lot of those nowadays. Like, they have no tattoos. They ain't earned nothing. You're over here talking about, oh, you don't even know how it feels. Like, how you even talk about anything about this? You don't even know how it heals because you don't heal a tattoo.
Yeah, it's weird.
Like, nah, it's kind of, I don't know.
That is something to be said, though. Like, it's one thing to see your client after she walks out of the door, you got your fresh tattoo, and then 2 weeks later, see it in like the almost completely healed phase.
Yeah.
Whether it's fallen out, scabbed over, looks a little infected, whatever it is, healed great. But you don't get to see the everyday transition of what goes on from day 1 to day 14.
Yeah.
If you're not tattooed yourself, you don't know what that looks like.
You don't know what that's look like.
Like,
you don't know what that feels like.
Don't worry about it. Just watch it. Like, you don't know it. Like, you might be freaking out inside. Like, you don't know what's going to go on.
Yeah. Well, all those people probably use some sort of like second skin, and they're like, just put this on, don't take it off.
Yeah, you're probably right.
I ain't gonna lie, you second skin. I love that thing.
All right. Well, we have actually today, guys, we have some critiques.
If you remember a few weeks back, we had Ed from Tattoo Armor on the podcast, and he was able to hook us up with a discount code for our followers. So Tattoo Armor is literally the best way to wrap your client. I've been using it. Matt's been using it, and it's just awesome. There's no mess, there's no glue, and it's just super comfortable. I hope you can try it for yourself, and just go on to Tattoo Armor and use the code Honest Tattooer for 20% off your order.
After I got the chance to sit down with Matt and John on the Honest Tattooer podcast, the Force of Focus got amazing feedback when it comes to the Hello to Healed process, networking strategies, and most of all, creating your own personal brand and culture. So I want to give you the opportunity to take 15% off by coming to join the Force of Focus arena. Now, this is a community of high-achieving tattoo artists who are all here for one reason: to be around like-minded individuals who all want to grow not only in our personal lives, but within our businesses. We're going to walk with you side by side to build out every system you could ever imagine to not only ensure the fact you're on the right path, but how to be able to see your dream life and then achieve it. Now, I have a laundry list of artists who have been able to achieve their dreams, and if you're ready to do the same, click the link below and let's get a conversation going.
Welcome to the critique episode. So we're going to do it. So we have some tattoos sent by some of our Patreon supporters, I think.
Yeah, you know what? I always do this. So I save them as an unread email so that they're always in that like that section of unread stuff.
And then you read them.
I sent them to you. So I opened it up now again. Fuck. Let me see. Hold on. Let's do the Medusa.
Is it finished?
That's a good question.
Because if you look to the left, you got a line. Like it looks like
I can't tell what that is.
Maybe
is it
a
supposed to be
snake?
another snake?
or a hand maybe on the. I don't know.
I think maybe a snake.
Whenever I'm working on anything, whether it's a tattoo or a painting or anything, and I feel good about the finished product, but then someone asks, is it done? Or, oh, what are you going to do over here?
Yes.
Immediately I know that something's wrong.
Something's wrong.
Something's very wrong.
Yeah. Something's
So
wrong.
if somebody's asking is finished, it's not a good sign. But maybe it's not. I don't know.
And then the flow on that like S to the left with the cheek and the eye throws it off a little bit. Like,
Yeah, that whatever that is. I feel like that's maybe supposed to be another snake.
yeah, it has to be. That's the only thing.
But it's odd.
It
Or
is.
maybe a hand. You're right. I don't know what it is.
It could be a hand, but then if you look closer to the eye, up a little bit, it's like a snake maybe trying to transition in, but then the flow, like it would be stacked wrong.
So if you kind of look at it at an arm's distance and critiquing what we can see, whatever it is that's as the background behind that far eye, it's competing with the shape of the face.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah.
with that.
Right. So whether or not it's finished or not, I don't know.
It's still competing with the face. No
yeah,
matter what.
that is it's very hard to read. I think something as simple as just blacking that out, making or just
The contrast.
darkening it. Yeah.
Contrast is big.
Yep.
Even a contrast of textures would have done something different.
It's kind of a funky drawing.
Yeah. So as far as the application of the tattoo goes, I think it's done fairly
It's
decent.
pretty smooth.
I wish that the lines of the snakes were a little crispier.
Yeah.
It looks like he tried to mag a lot of that in. But yeah, like what you were saying, I think the overall drawing of it could have been improved. I think one of the things with snakes that troubles a lot of people is making the body a consistent thickness all around.
Yeah.
When you make
Yeah.
those curves, sometimes you have the tendency to go a little bit thicker or a little bit thinner. So
Right on the curves.
yeah,
Took me a while to learn that move. And then under the neck where the face, like the face turns into the body, sometimes it looks too skinny
yeah,
and it throws it off.
yep. Anything who will give an instruction on how to draw a snake will tell you snakes aren't tubes. Don't draw it like a tube. But it does need to be a consistent thickness all around. So what you could do to help you train is to either set up your brush so that it'll draw two parallel lines if you're drawing on Procreate, and I'll give you two parallel lines so it's constantly the same thickness, or just keep a mental note. Like if you have to use some sort of measuring stick, use your thumb, use your pencil, or have something on the screen to help you measure so that you do make sure that everything stays the same thickness all around.
One thing that I'll do with that, if I'm drawing on Procreate, is just grab like a perfect round brush and just turn it into you can even just use like the opacity of it, make it really light, and then just make it so it doesn't change.
It doesn't taper.
It doesn't taper at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah,
And then just
that's great.
start doing that and then work from that. And then you can taper that line later if you want to.
Right.
A lot easier, but at least so you have a nice, easy consistency.
Yeah, that's good. Good one.
You got a wolf, a howling at the moon.
Howlin' Wolf.
I like this tat.
This one's better.
This one's better. The trees on the bottom are a little messy, but you can tell they're trees, so it doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
And overall, like I really like how he did the hair
I wonder if that's a cover up.
on this wolf.
Might be. I would have tried to separate the wolf from the moon itself a little bit.
Yeah. I don't think that moon itself needed that much shading on it.
Yeah, like
Nah, yeah. One thing that I dislike about this, and I see a lot of tattooers do this, is they'll put that little rim of black around the moon to give it the effect that, oh, look, this moon is light compared to the dark sky.
Yeah.
But it should be more.
yeah,
It should-
I
it
was
should be
I was-
further
I was
more, a little
thinking
more.
that. I was like, I don't know if I'm background heavy, but I would have bumped up the background, especially under the neck of the wolf too,
Yeah.
because it would give that contrast. You know,
Just a little more.
yeah. Don't be scared.
Yeah, just overall to sharpen it up a little bit, right?
Yeah, it feels too.
Yeah.
Even if you keep, usually when I do trees like that, I'm just trying to copy a texture. You know, I'm not looking so much at, it's like, oh, this is going to be dark, this is going to be light, but then you try to achieve a nice consistent texture. So when you squint, you're like, oh, that looks like a forest. I feel like this almost nails it, but then it gets a little too messy in certain parts.
All right, let's move it along.
I like the dog bundle.
Oh yeah, all the black and gray stuff.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. So this is Cesar Perez. Yeah, we'll do the dog bundle. There's a lot in here though, so I don't know if you want to scroll through and pick. Maybe we'll do 2. We'll keep it to 2 for everybody. There's a couple of dogs in this one. Honestly, there's 2 really good dogs in here. The first dog's not that great.
The second one.
The Frenchie.
The Frenchie, right?
Great. Yeah, the Frenchie's great.
And the picture had like a character. That dog is like with his head to the side, like, yo, what's up?
That's important. Like, if you're doing a portrait of a pet, like, it's one thing to get like a good lighting and everything, but also kind of get some personality in that.
Yeah.
I feel like all portraits need personality.
Yeah.
Especially if it ain't like a famous person, like some type of character, you know, like don't make it so vanilla, like, you know?
Yeah, this one's great. I got nothing bad to say.
Yeah, I like the texture that he achieved on this. It's super cool, super smooth, real nice. Really nice tattoo.
The nice amount.
Good job,
of white.
Caesar.
Is the tag all filled in white?
Yeah.
I don't know. That might be one thing I don't like about this tattoo.
The what? Which one?
His tag, his name tag.
Oh,
It looks like it's packed in with white, like the whole thing.
it is. It is.
I like the separation. How it makes it bold. It looks like a silver tag, you know?
It looks like he has like a double tag, you know, like a little round one hanging,
then a
and behind
bone.
that one he has the little bone tag behind it.
That's definitely what it looks like.
See, to me, like,
I would have simplified it. I would have just kept just one of those. I don't feel like you need both, even if they're in the photo.
it being colored in white is making my eye get drawn to that tag.
Yeah, 100%.
It's competing.
Yeah, like you would want the focus to be on the eyes, but I can't not look at that tag.
Yeah, it's like I mean, given once that thing settles down and chills out, I feel like it'll be a lot more subtle.
Yeah.
100%.
And something that I do with, especially with dogs, exaggerate those highlights a little bit more.
Yeah.
Like in the picture, it's, you know, a tiny dot. Make that dot just a little bit bigger, so it just feels a little bit more extreme, more exaggerated, and it just like has that pop to bring the attention to the eyes.
Yeah.
I like tattooing Frenchies though. Like they make cool tattoos, man.
They do.
But it's hard. All that texture.
All that texture. The nose got so much texture.
Making it look
The
flat,
hair.
like the flat nose or the flat snout or whatever.
No, he pulled a lot of really cool tricks on this tattoo.
Yeah,
I
he
really like
did.
it.
Yeah, that's definitely a good one.
Super nice.
All right, let's pick one more for him. I say we do something other than a dog.
Let's do the baby hand.
Baby hand. All right.
What part of the body is this on?
Looks like a chest.
I don't know.
I don't know, because then what part of the chest would that be? Like, but would be the nipple.
I mean, yeah, you're right.
Maybe a rib.
I was like, where is this? I've been
Maybe
trying to
a
figure that
rib.
out. I'm like, I can't. My first thought was definitely just like what you said. I was like, oh, it's a chest, and I'm like, wait, that can't be a chest.
Because the top of the photo looks like a collar, like, and then it's
Yeah.
neck.
I can't tell where that is.
I feel like I don't have a top of the photo. I can't tell at all.
No, I can't.
Oh
tell.
yeah, I see what you talk about, like the neck.
Yeah, like this right here, but
Then where do you see the crease of the chest? And then the nipple should be right.
right there.
Yeah. Maybe he don't got nipples. I know somebody without nipples.
He ain't got no-
Took 'em off.
Is that the same guy that Gabe knows?
Yeah. I'm like, yo,
The
mom,
nipple
my
guy.
boy got no nipples. Go check it out.
No nipple Bob. But this tattoo, the one with the hand, I think it's really nicely done too. Like feels like the baby hand or the young person's hand feels really soft, delicate, like the way that he did like the area around the knuckles where there's like no shape there, just soft.
So here's the thing with that. And I'm trying to tell if this almost looks like it was a screenshot taken from a video. Because the overall feeling of the picture itself is very
Very
out of
blurry.
focus.
Yeah, very out of focus.
And I don't know if that's helping or hurting what this tattoo looks like. Because like you're saying, everything's very soft. but I think that might be because of some of the blurriness of the photo.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's parts where it just doesn't look sharp as it should because of it, because it's just the whole photo is very soft.
If you look at the pinky on the kid, he hit a little liner on that crease, and then the second finger next to the pinky by the knuckle, he hit a little liner. He should have continued using a little bit of liner throughout, whether it's separating the nail at one point. Like, if you're going to do a little bit, you might as well do a little bit all around.
Everywhere.
Yeah, not too much. You see that one finger had 2 points. Then the second finger towards the bottom, he could have added a little bit more towards the bend and kept on going. I feel like throughout the tattoo, he'll put a little liner and then fall off with it. Like, I don't know. It's a consistency thing. And I don't know if it's like half healed and he hit up some spots. Like, if you look at the background.
Yeah.
So
it's soft though. It's like in the back, but it gets a little weird. Gets a little funky in the large hand and on the fingers. It gets lost, especially that like middle finger.
yeah, but they don't look like sausages. So I've seen some bad hands in my
a little
life.
sausagey.
I've seen some bad ones, bro.
The adult hand pinky,
Off.
that's
super
got a
weird.
big crook to it. And I don't know if that's just a body part
I
thing.
think it was supposed to be in an angle like that, but then it just doesn't look rendered that way.
Yeah, it looks like it's
Nah, he broke it doing jujitsu. He got stuck on the gi.
It got stuck.
But I mean, I can't do this type of tattoo, so I don't want to talk shit about it. Which I don't think we are anyway.
No, not at all. I think he did more things good than bad.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
and
sure.
I could, I could do this tattoo, but overall, it's like pretty good.
Pretty good.
It's not bad. I've seen way worse.
Hands are hard.
Hands are
People
hard.
fuck up hands all the time.
Stupid hard.
I like it. It's cool.
Yeah, let's move on.
I like the placement of the flowers a little bit.
I like the flow of the tattoo. I think it's nice.
I feel like the color saturation or choices could be a little better.
This
It's a little
thing-
washed out, right?
Yeah.
Now zoom into it.
Scratchy.
This was stippled. This was done doing like that
Liner.
Deanna James or
Yeah.
is it Dina James or Deanna?
Deanna.
Deanna James kind of style with like with the liner kind of whipping some stuff and.
But why he ain't saturate the blacks and stuff?
Well, I think like if you're doing even this approach and you're doing like this layering with the liner, I think you still got to go back in with like, a 15 mag, and kind of just saturate those areas.
So my color pieces, most of them are all done with a round shader mostly, unless background. You could still saturate with a round.
With a shader, yeah.
All
But
day
this is
or a
like a
liner.
tight liner. This is a super tight liner, and
I'll
I
use
mean
it
you
the
can
right-
saturate it, but it just takes forever.
Yeah, I had to stop doing that. But I don't know why he ain't saturate, because this color, and throughout the years, the sun bake, everything, you're gonna lose a lot of it.
A lot of this is gonna feel lost.
Yeah. Like, I see where he's going. Nice little peppers in certain spots. But
It's crazy. This is one of those tattoos that when you look at it like from as a whole, like it looks really good, and when you zoom into it, then you start seeing like
because of the flow.
all the things about it that are gonna, as it ages a little bit, like it needs more strength and more foundation overall. Like the foundation of it is not as strong. Like parts where there's black and you zoom into it, the black's not solid black. It's just kind of whipped out
So
again with a small liner.
I just zoomed into the purple flower, right into the center part.
Yeah.
And if you just look at that,
Oh yeah.
just the center part, like
Yeah, that's I was like, oof.
it's like a Monet painting, right?
Yeah.
Which is cool as artwork, but as a tattoo, I don't know if that's the right move.
No.
It looks like the back of the tattoo he did mag in and pack in,
Yes.
which is weird to me.
Like when you see the leaf all the way in the back, it
Yeah.
looks solid.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. The one that's falling off.
Yep.
Yeah.
He must have got tired to use that liner.
I was like, oh, I gotta get this done, man.
It's a one day
It's been 7 hours. I got through one flower.
I hate when that happens though.
I mean, overall, the artistry of it is really nice.
It's a pretty tattoo.
Yeah, it's really pretty.
the cuts, like the wind cuts or whatever those are.
It's a very, very pretty tattoo. That negative space flowing through it is really nice. There's a lot that's really nice about this tattoo, but I think overall, like, it just needs to get tighter. Like the shading needs to be just solid, and little things about it will just make it really, really be above and beyond cool.
I think what one of John's favorite lines is, "This is a really nice Instagram post."
It's a really nice Instagram post. It is really nice. It'll look great on the gram.
Yeah, but as far as like the longevity of this tattoo,
I would have found a better
we'll
place
see.
to take a picture.
right?
Yeah.
Got the ink in the background.
That cord.
yeah.
Yeah, that cord is killing me. I feel like if he could have took it to the left a little bit and tilted it, he'll get the gray wall as the background, you know?
And guys, after we finish this critique, we're gonna ask Skeety some tips on how to get really good photos of your tattoos.
You know what? Maybe we'll keep that exclusive to the after show.
Oh, that'll be for people on the after show. So if you want to join us on our Patreon.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
leading into me. All right. If you want to join us on our Patreon and get Skeety's tips on how to properly take a good photo of your tattoo work, head over to patreon.com/honest-tattooer, sign up to be a Patreon supporter.
Damn, I should have broke down my rig.
Nah, it's fine.
Yeah, it's all right.
We got videos of it.
Oh, yeah, you do.
Yeah, that's right. I was videoing you videoing my piece.
Yeah, and I think it'll be a cool thing if to show.
I need that for the gram.
Yeah, I'll send it to you.
It'll be cool to maybe even show a difference of the video taken with your iPhone with your rig versus his camera with his rig.
Yeah. All right.
To a side by side.
Cool.
Good.
Yeah. So if you want to see all that, patreon.com/honest-tattooer. And what I didn't say is the tattoo that we're critiquing right now is by a guy who I think is a guy goes by K Jake Tattoo from Unbreakable Ink Company.
Oh, cool.
You know what I want to talk about still from Jake is these mushrooms.
Oh, wow. The black and gray mushrooms.
Yes.
With the snail.
He got good flow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's like
Really good flow.
I wonder if he does graffiti. Because he has a lot of,
Really cool illustrator flow. Everything looks real dynamic.
Yeah.
It looks,
like if it's doing like a kick or in martial arts, you know?
yeah.
That's what they tell you when you do graffiti, you know? I forgot, I think Saber was talking about that. He's like MSK famous graph writer. And there was I forgot the name of the movie. And he says he always wants to make it look like it's about to attack. It has to have a certain flow, like he's leaning. The piece has to,
That directional kind of like
and that's what he's doing right
Yeah.
here on most of his pieces.
I even love how it ends on the bottom. That little squiggly
Yeah,
kind of like that
fine.
thing's cool. Like, yeah, I'm zoomed into it and I'm like, oh, that thing's cool. Like all those little negative spaces that are just creating really cool shapes. It's just a dope tattoo.
I like the peppers.
As a black and gray tattoo, it works really well.
Yeah, as a black and gray tattoo, it works really well. And I think after that tattoo heals, it'll look even better.
Yeah.
I think this tattoo healed probably looks even better than we're seeing right now. And it'll, to me at least, it's the opposite of the colored tattoo, where I think that once that tattoo heals and settles, it won't look as cool. This one will look cooler, in my opinion, after it settles down.
Tattooing the long game, you know, tattooing for so long, you know how it's going to look. You know, like it might look good for a year, but give it 5, 6.
And then you're like, oh,
what happened? I've been there, you know. I've been tattooing for so long that I bump into somebody that I started. I'm like, oh, I did that. Like, damn, you need laser or something, you know?
I mean, the tattoos, they're like, you know, the 3 little pigs, you know? You have some that are built like a house of straws, some that are built like a house of wood, and some that's built like bricks. And they're solid. They ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and I think that from afar, they'll look like they serve the purpose. Like they'll look good, but then they're not gonna, you know, big bad wolf come, cold sun. And it takes them tattoos down, man, every time, without fail.
I don't know. I've been living in Florida for maybe like 7 years now, and I learned a little trick. So I forgot whose seminar, and they told me put 1 drop of baby blue in your white, because yellow, the sun yellows it out, and that's an opposite. And that Indian piece that I did, that's fully healed. 3 years, Florida sun, truck driver, the window arm, I know Buddy doesn't put sunblock. And by understanding, all right, this yellow tone or whatever's going to turn yellow or brownish, can I make it cooler? Just a cool yellow or a cool, just that little bit of drop of white, blue, and the white helped it out so much that like think about the bake, you know, and it's only been 3 years, but usually by now, a lot of tones will be brown.
Well, I think that adding that color is going to help with the whole
neutralizing.
Oxide. Was it?
Yeah,
Oxidization.
Yeah, that's the word.
You know?
I think it was Daniel Roca that told me about that drop of blue. I don't know. I took a lot of seminars and webinars, but ever since thinking about that opposite, all right, if it's going to bake and this white is going to turn yellow, what can I go to neutralize it? Maybe a little blue, you know, play with the complementary colors a little bit. And it helps out a lot. Like, I don't know. I'm still testing it out. Give it like 3 more years. We'll see what's up, you know. But
sometimes with like when I'm doing some highlights on certain tattoos or certain people, instead of doing like a straight white highlight, I'll do like the tiniest little bit of yellow in there. Because I feel like it looks more like what I want it to look.
Right.
You know, than if I just went straight white, because then that white's gonna then
overpower.
It'll look like too like over time, like it won't look as bright than the yellow. Like the yellow, it'll look truer, especially on people like me that have a kind of like a little melanin in their tone. Because it's for my tone, that yellow is going to stand out more than if it's just true white. The true white with my skin tone over it is going to dull that white out a lot more.
Yeah.
Okay. It's interesting.
That's why I think it varies on person to person.
For sure. Yeah. All right. One last thing I want to talk about this is, like I did before with looking at it at an arm's distance, it could use a little bit more contrast overall in the piece. Like everything has the same value change.
If he could separate, like, you know, with the contrast, how you were saying, or even textures, throw a little mag in there, some parts smooth, some parts peppered.
I think this thing just needs some solid blacks, like just solid blacks.
Yeah.
Like when you put it away from you, there's not one part where I'm like, oh, that thing's just black.
Yeah.
And if it just had a couple of spots where it was like, oh, that's dark.
I feel like I
can't pop things.
Can't critique about black because I'm very biased. I'm like, yo, let's just throw black in that motherfucker. Because, you know, after years, that's the only thing that holds the structure.
It holds so well. You know, like even in that little section, if you see where the snail's at, right? And where the shell and the little mushrooms behind it.
Need separation.
Yeah. Like even right there, just put everything, push that snail forward because that's what matters. And just make those things right behind it just a lot darker.
And you know what I'll do? Looking at it now from afar, I would throw a real soft wash behind it. Like a real soft wash to add depth, like something to separate
the skin.
Yeah.
Yes, that would be one way to kind of offset and push the skin that he's leaving and all of the snail and everything, just so it comes out more. But if he just had more contrast, I don't think you even need that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
All right, let's move on. Skeety wants to talk about this warrior
sleeve,
right?
Yeah.
All right, so this one comes from a guy named Rich. He's tattooing out of Whakatane, New Zealand.
Whakatane?
Whakatane.
Sounds like a great
yeah, is that for real?
For real. Yeah. Whakatane.
Sounds like fun.
yeah. That does not sound like a real place.
He made a note. It's pronounced Whakatane.
I feel like you said well.
And in parentheses, he goes, honest. That's fair.
Honestly, it's Whakatane.
Whakatane.
It sounds like he does it a lot.
That's so good. Oh, man.
I don't know. I like it, but I'm not, you know, this ain't my genre.
He Whakatane over there.
They fuck around over there. That's what they do. Yo.
Let's talk about this sleeve. What do you like about this sleeve?
Yeah, let's start with Skeety. He wants to talk about this one.
I don't know. I never seen a girl with a tattoo under her chin.
Under her chin?
Is she holding you know what? It reminds me of my mom.
She's holding a chancla.
Yeah. When I'm in trouble, like, yo, come over here before I throw it. I don't know.
I feel like this is all like native Maori type stuff from New Zealand. So maybe I think that's maybe what those things mean.
Everybody know about the chancla, man. That's deadly weapon.
It is a worldwide thing. Man, there's things that, like, I really like that background on this, the one that's on the top. I like that background. It's kind of like funky. I feel like I would love to see like a full sleeve of that kind of like black work with like these gray clouds. That would look really rad.
I feel like he got tired at the bottom.
But the face, whenever you do a face, faces are, they make you or break you. And
did this one break him?
This break him. This lady, I wouldn't say this lady is pretty. And when I look at a tattoo, I want to say like, oh, it's a pretty face. Pretty tattoo.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Unless it's intentionally ugly, you know? And then it should be very intentionally ugly. But, you know, the really harsh lines that are from the eyebrows to the bridge of that nose are way bold.
They're way bold and way uneven.
The eyes too.
The eyes are uneven.
If you was to make it like ugly purposely, what would you do? Add a mole or something?
I would have changed the proportion so it doesn't have like a pretty girl proportions on her face. Like, you know, the lips are killing me.
It's just one big black lip.
One big black lip.
Yeah.
Which doesn't even look like black. When you look into it, it looks almost like kind of grayish.
Yeah. No separation from the tattoo either. It's like blended down.
When you do eyes, I always tend to exaggerate the thickness of the top lid of the eye as opposed to the bottom.
Right.
You know, like even if you're going to make the bottom part of the lid like real dark, like if she put on like eyeliner or something, I would still make the top one even bigger than, like more bold than that.
Make the top one bigger. And also a nice trick to do is if you want to make the bottom lid thicker and darker also, it's good to go from the outside corners thick.
Yeah.
But then as you get closer towards the nose,
have them disappear.
Like fade that line out.
Yeah.
The S reminds me of middle school when I used to draw the S.
Yeah.
The S earring.
So one thing that caught my eye is look at
the knuckles.
Look at her. Is it a sash? Is it her? I don't know what you would call this piece of clothing that she's wearing draped around her shoulder. But you've got that top border, right? The red pattern border. The bottom line of that top border, it flows right into that thing that's around her neck.
It's off.
And doesn't connect back with the rest of the line.
Yeah, I see it. It's not in the same place.
One goes down and one goes like...
They don't meet.
Never will.
And never will. They don't meet. Never.
Yeah, I mean, overall, I think this is a cool tattoo. I just think that the drawing, like the preliminary drawing of this could have used a little help.
Yeah, there's some solid inconsistencies. The line weights on this tattoo are a little bit off, like for the elements, you know? If you're going to use these multiple line weights, you know, start like dedicating your line weights to different parts of your tattoo. So if you're going to do in this face, for example, you have these really kind of thicker line weights on the outside, then make sure that everything that you're doing on the inside of the face, like all the smaller features, you're going to use your really fine liner to do that. You're not going to pull your thick liner again within there. It's going to be all smaller. And even same with like the articles of clothing. You know, if you're going to have like the outside border of that article of clothing be bolder, everything within it just thinner, finer lines to create a little bit more contrast in your lines. And here I feel like they kind of jump around too much.
Yeah, it's basically use your bolder line to define your shape and use your thinner line to make your details.
Yes.
All right, let's move it along.
Next.
We've been chatting a while. All right, so Jake also sent this bird.
Birds of a feather flock together.
Which I don't... Maybe it's me, or maybe just because I opened up this email, but I feel like we talked about this tattoo once before.
No, we haven't, no. And I think this one's cool. Yeah, this one's really cool.
Has black.
His black is solid and where it needs to be, and you zoom into it, is well saturated. It looks really nice. This is a very cool tattoo.
I like the texture in the belly feathers.
And the belly feathers, for sure. Looks nice.
Really neat.
One thing that's weird to me is the little
Feet.
the foot.
Yeah.
The feet are like, I'm like, what is happening with these feet?
Like, what is the one claw doing? So, like,
I don't know. Dude, I've been trying to look at that thing. I'm like, what is that happening?
it's crazy how we called it out at the same time.
I was like, because your eye goes to it. So you're looking around, you're like, oh, that's nice. That's nice. And you're like, what's that?
It looks like he drew it from an AI image.
That's true.
Traced it right from that.
I be getting good AI images, so I don't know. But I steer away from heads.
That's what I'm saying. Like, this is probably an AI claw or talon.
Should have covered those feet up that you couldn't draw
flower,
with a flower or a leaf. Just cover those up. We would have been fine. We would have never known.
I always, in the beginning of tattooing, I would avoid hands and stuff like that all day long.
She's holding a bouquet and you can't see her hands
At all.
You're like, I'd rather do 10 flowers, bro, than one hand.
Some smoke is covering it.
That's good.
Nah, but this is going to last for a very long time.
I like this set.
Yeah, this
too.
one's good.
Great contrast and the colors are nice.
The green up top down to the blue.
Yeah, it's cool. Cool tatty.
Yeah, pretty cool. Could be cleaner,
Yeah,
but for what it is, I think it's really nice.
I like. Cool.
Did we do them all?
Yeah, I think we did them all.
Cool.
Thank you guys so much for sitting through this critique with us. If you want to submit your tattoos, the best way to do it is go through our Patreon. If you want to become a supporter, you can always start in one of the, what do they call those tiers? The first tier where it's just kind of like a trial.
So the way it's broken down is that no matter what tier you want to join, you'll get a 7-day free trial.
Oh, cool.
And then once the 7 days is up, then just like any other free trial subscription thing, it'll just kick in.
It'll kick in.
So it doesn't matter what tier you choose, you'll get the free 7-day trial. And then within that, you have full access to everything that we've ever posted and
Awesome.
anything that we will post during your time there.
Sick. And now we're going to get ready to talk about how to take good photos of your tattoos. I think most of us struggle with that part.
I still struggle.
Every time that we look at critiques, we see that you guys struggle with taking good photos of your tattoos. So thank you guys so much for joining us again this week. And we hope to see you next week. Take care.
We hope to see you in the Patreon.
Peace.
Bye.